see this problem. This is the third problem here. Find the maximum of z is equal to, this is the objective function. Okay, subject to, we have two constraints here. Okay, x comma y is going to be greater than 0. This is our non-negativity constraint by solving the dual. Okay, so first of all, we have to convert it into the canonical form. Okay, here we have the maximization type. It is already, the constraints are of less than or equal to, so it is already in the canonical form. Okay, then what will we do? We'll go and check the body of the matrix. Body of the matrix over here, it is 5, 2, 1, 2. Take the transpose, 5, 2, 1, 2 will come in the vertical. Okay, so we have got the body of the dual. Okay, now we are going to check how many constraints are there in the primal problem. Here we have two constraints. So number of variables in the dual will be 2. Okay, always remember, we have to check all these things from the canonical form. Since the given form itself is canonical, I can take it from the question itself. Okay, otherwise you have to check all these criteria. How many constraints are there? How many variables are there? All that you have to check from the canonical form. Okay, so since this is my canonical form, already the question is in the canonical form, I can check it from here itself. Okay, so in this canonical form, I have two constraints. Okay, two constraints are there, right? So how many variables will be there in the dual? There will be two variables. Okay, I'm naming those two variables as W1 and W2. Okay, now I can take the dual. Okay, here I have maximization. The question is maximization. So in my dual, it would be minimization of z dash. Okay. Now, what are the right hand side of the constraints? 20 and 10. So 20 and 10 will be the objective functions coefficients. Okay, then I will fill it with the variables W1 and W2. Similarly, constraints, we have already got the transpose of the matrix 5, 1 and 2, 2. So I have 5, 1, 2 and 2. See over here, 5, 1, 2 and 2. Okay, fill it with the variables. Now my objective function is minimization type. So my constraints will be of the type greater than or equal to. Okay, the right hand side of the constraints will be the objective functions coefficients in the primal. Okay, objective functions coefficients are 6 and 8. So this 6 and 8 is going to be the right hand side of the constraints. Always remember that this should be in the canonical form. In our case, this itself is the canonical form. Question is given in the canonical form itself. So I can take these variables from the question itself. Okay, so 6 and 8 are going to be the right hand side of my constraints in the dual. Okay, so 6 and 8 I have written. We have the non-negativity constraints W1 and W2 greater than or equal to 0. Okay, now we have to start the steps for solving the simplex problem. So before starting, we have to check whether the problem is in maximization or minimization type. Okay, here it is minimization type. No, so we have to convert it into maximization. Okay, so minimization z dash is equal to minus of z dash. I'm taking only this set. Okay, I've written over here. And then instead of minus z dash, I'm writing it as z dash star. Okay, I have written the explanation over here. Okay, next, my max of minus of z dash star, max of z dash star is equal to, introduce that minus. This minus is written over here. Minus of, what is the objective function in the dual? This is the objective function of the dual. Okay, so I've written that over here. Okay, open the brackets. Max of z dash star is equal to minus, you take it inside, minus 20 W1. Again, this minus you take it inside, you have minus of 10 W2. Okay, next what you do, you have to convert all these constraints into equality. Only then you can do the simplex method. So here it is greater than equal to. So what will you add? You will subtract this with S1 and add the artificial variable. Similarly, in this one also, you will subtract S2 and add the artificial variable A2. Okay. So we have done that over here. Subtracting S1 and adding A1 to the first constraint. Similarly, subtracting S2, that is surplus variable, and adding A2 to the second constraint. We have to introduce all these variables into the objective function. Okay. We have surplus variable S1, the coefficient is 0. Surplus variable S2, coefficient is 0. Artificial variable A1, the coefficient is -1. Artificial variable A2, the coefficient is -m. Okay. Once that is done, we have the non-negativity constraints written here. Introduce all this into the first simplex table. Okay. We have simplex table like this. Cj minus Zj, I have calculated. I have positive value for the first one. See, both these values are positive. Okay, in that case, which one will you take? You have to take the greatest positive, Cj minus Zj. Okay, so take the coefficients of m alone. Over here it is 7, over here it is 3. Okay, over here it is 7, and over here it is 3. 7 is greater than 3, so this value is a greater positive value. So this is going to be my incoming vector W1. Similarly, you take the least value from here. 6 by 5 is the least value. So A1 is going to be my leaving vector. Okay. According to Bigham method, in the next simplex table, you don't have to take A1. Okay. So you just, with a pencil, you just strike it out. So you don't have to take any values in the row operations also. Okay. So we have A1 leaving vector, W1 as the entering vector. We have the row operations over here. R1 is R1 old divided by 5, and R2 new is equal to R2 old minus 2 into R1 new. Okay. Do the operations, you will get the table like this. Okay. Again, over here we have Cj minus Zj values 0. Over here we have a positive value. These two values are positive. Okay. Which one is the value that you have to take? It is 8 by 5 and 2 by 5, which is a greater value. 8 by 5 is a bigger value. So totally this value is going to be the positive value. Greater positive value is this one. Okay, hope you understood the logic. No, for m values, if the values are having m values, you need to check the coefficient of m alone only. Okay, you don't have to take the 6 or minus 4. You can just ignore them. Over here, the m value has a coefficient of 8 by 5. Over here, m value has a coefficient of 2 by 5. Okay, 8 by 5 is bigger than 2 by 5. So this is going to be our incoming vector. Okay, W2 is the incoming vector. Go and check the minimum ratio. Here we have 6 and here we have 3.5. So this is going to be our leaving vector. Okay, so A2 will leave and W2 is going to come inside. So according to Bigham method, in the next simplex table, you don't have to consider A2. Just strike it out. Okay, do the raw operations. Okay, we have R1, R2 new is equal to R2 old divided by the key value is 8 by 5. So we have divided by 8 by 5. Similarly, this is the next row method. Okay, row operation R1 new is equal to R1 old minus what is the value corresponding to the key column in the first row? It is 1 by 5. So 1 by 5 into R2 new. Okay, do the raw operations. We get the table like this. Okay, see over here, A1 and A2 is not there. We have cancelled those rows now in the previous two iterations. So we don't have A1 and A2. Okay, this is the final simplex table that you get. Go and check the Cj minus Zj value. Here you have 0, here you have 0. This is a minus value, negative value. Here also negative value. So we have reached the optimal condition. Okay, in the optimal condition, do we have any artificial variables in B? No, we don't have any artificial variables in B. That means this dual problem has a definite answer. Okay, now what is the definite answer? We have W1 is equal to 1 by 2 and W2 is equal to 7 by 2. Okay, and what is the value of this? Is what is this? This is the what is the objective function of the form? How did we take it? Last objective function is max of z dash star. Did you see here? See, this is max of z dash star. Okay, that same max of z dash star we can see here also. Max of z dash star. Okay, so this max of z dash star, no, this value is what you get from the last simplex table. Okay, this is z dash star's value. Okay, minus 45 is the value. Okay, so we have W1, we have W2, value of W2. Here we have the value of z dash star also. Okay, so since all Cj minus Zj is less than 0 and the solution is optimal, we have W1 value, we have W2 value. Minimization of Z dash is going to be what? Minus of max of Z dash star. No, max of Z dash star is what we got from the table above. That is minus 45. Okay, so this value alone is minus 45 from the simplex table. So when we are taking minimization of Z dash, it is going to be minus of minus 45. Okay, that is minus of 45, which is 45. Okay, our answer does not end by there. Okay, why? Because we have got the answer in terms of W1. See, we have got the answer in terms of W1 and W2. Okay, what is our question? We have to solve the primal LPP, right? We have to solve the primal LPP. Primal LPP, what are the variables? X and Y. Okay, till now we have not got the value of X and Y. Okay, from where do we get that value? From where do we get that value? According to duality theorem. Okay, according to duality theorem, we will get the value of X and Y from the final dual optimal simplex table. Okay, this is our final optimal dual simplex table. From that, we will get the value of the primal table. Okay. So what is that? The value is going to be 5 by 2 and 15 by 4. Okay. How is that? Okay. You have to take the value corresponding to Cj minus Zj. Okay. And the value corresponding to the slack and the slack or the surplus variable. Here we have S1 and S2. Okay. So what is the overlapping variable? Here we have Cj minus Zj. Here we have S1 and S2. Okay. So the coinciding values are going to be the solution for the primal table. Okay. Our question is to find the solution for the primal table. Okay. So this W1 and W2, this is the solution for the dual table. Okay. These are the solutions for the dual table. Okay. These are the solutions for the dual table. We need to get the solution for our primal problem. Our primal problem has the variables x and y. How do you get that? According to duality problem, how do you get that? It is in the optimal condition. This is the optimal condition, and in the feasible condition. Here you don't have any artificial variables. Okay, in that situation, you can get the solution for the primal table. Okay, primal table. Okay, how is that? Go and check the Cj minus Zj value corresponding to the slack or the surplus variables. First value will be x value, second value will be the y value. Okay, here you have minus, you have to ignore them. Why? Because we always take x1, x2 values as positive, right? According to the non-negativity constraints. So at the end I have written according to, this is according to the duality theorem. Okay, so according to the duality theorem, the optimal solution of the primal is given by Cj minus Zj corresponding to the column of surplus variables S1 and S2. Okay, you have to take only the positive values. Okay, so what are the positive values? Here we have S1. So this is the value corresponding to X1. Okay, don't take minus, take only positive 5 by 2. Similarly, this is S2. So we have the corresponding variable Y1. Okay, what is the value? 15 by 4. Take only the positive value. Okay, so here we have x is equal to 5 by 2 and y is equal to 15 by 4. Okay, and what is the value of the maximization set? Maximization set is our question. Okay, maximization set is 45. Okay, why? Because the duality theorem says that in the optimal and finite condition, the value of Z, maximization Z and minimization Z is going to be the same. Okay, we got minimization Z dash is equal to 45. So this same value is going to be the maximization Z value. Is it clear? So we'll get x and y from the dual table. Go and check the last row corresponding to the slack or surplus variables. You will get x and y. Take only the positive values. Okay. Don't take the maximization Z value as minus 45 because we have already converted it into max and we have to reconvert it into the minimization value. Minimization value, you get it as here 45. This 45 is going to be the maximization Z values primal maximization value. Okay, so this 45 is what you have to take it down. Okay, don't take the value immediately from this table for Z. If you have to convert it back into the minimization, convert that and only take that as the maximization value. Okay, so that is 45. Okay, so hope you understood this problem. So in exam, if you are asking this problem, you have to do it this way. Okay, take from the duality's last table, optimal and feasible condition. Take the values of x and y. Okay, don't immediately jump and take this as the maximization or the objective value, because if you have to convert it back into the minimization type, convert it back and only that value you need to take it as our final primal tables, primal LPPs, maximization or minimization Z value. Okay, is it there? So here we have 45. Okay,